Deep within the desert sands, an ancient civilization beckons. Egypt, a land of pharaohs and pyramids, has captivated the world for millennia. For centuries, the mysteries of ancient Egypt lay dormant, hidden beneath layers of sand and time. Who were these people who built such wonders? What secrets did their tombs hold? The allure of Egypt's enigmatic past has drawn explorers and scholars for generations. Join us now as we journey through time, exploring the fascinating history of this captivating field of study. Our exploration begins in antiquity, where early explorers and scholars first attempted to decipher the mysteries of ancient Egypt. We'll delve into the contributions of figures like Thutmose IV, a pharaoh who initiated early restoration efforts at ancient sites. These early pioneers laid the foundation for the formal study of Egyptology. From the deciphering of hieroglyphs to the excavation of forgotten tombs, each discovery has brought us closer to understanding the people and culture of ancient Egypt. Our journey into Egyptology begins not with an outsider, but with a pharaoh himself. Thutmose IV, a ruler during Egypt's glorious New Kingdom, was drawn to the grandeur of the past. He took a particular interest in the great Sphinx of Giza, a colossal statue already ancient in his time. Thutmose, seeing a symbol of both power and mystery, ordered its excavation. Thutmose's initiative marked an early awakening of interest in Egypt's ancient past. Centuries later, as Egypt fell under the sway of foreign powers, the task of recording its history fell to a man named Manetho. An Egyptian priest living during the Ptolemaic period, Manetho possessed knowledge of both Egyptian and Greek culture. His most significant work was the History of Egypt, a comprehensive chronicle written in Greek. In the Manetho organized the pharaohs of Egypt into dynasties or ruling families. Through these fragments, Manetho's influence on our understanding of Egyptian history remains profound. The Ptolemaic period, though marking the end of native pharaonic rule, ironically ushered in a new era of engagement with ancient Egypt. The Ptolemies, keen to legitimize their rule, embraced Egyptian culture and traditions. It was during their reign that the famous Rosetta Stone was created in 196 BC. This accidental find would revolutionize the study of ancient Egypt, paving the way for the decipherment of hieroglyphs and the birth of modern Egyptology. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone ignited a firestorm of intellectual curiosity across Europe. Scholars raced to decipher the ancient hieroglyphs, hoping to unlock the secrets held within their intricate symbols. The breakthrough came in 1822, when a brilliant young French scholar named Jean-François Champollion cracked the code. Champollion recognized that the hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone represented sounds as well as ideas. With each decipherment, the ancient Egyptian language came alive, revealing a rich tapestry of history, mythology, and everyday life. While Champollion's work illuminated the written word, a new generation of explorers and archaeologists ventured into the deserts and tombs of Egypt. Among these pioneers was Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie, a British archaeologist often hailed as the father of scientific archaeology. Petrie revolutionized the field of archaeology with his meticulous approach to excavation and recording. His insistence on recording even the smallest details laid the foundation for modern archaeological practice. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed a golden age of Egyptological discovery. Armed with Champollion's decipherments and inspired by Petrie's methods, archaeologists from around the world flocked to Egypt. Expeditions unearthed a wealth of artifacts, from colossal statues and intricate jewellery to everyday objects. One discovery, however, would capture the world's imagination like no other: the tomb of Tutankhamun. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, largely intact and filled with a dazzling array of golden treasures, became a global sensation. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 remains a pivotal moment in Egyptology. The world held its breath as Howard Carter peered into the tomb's antechamber. Inside, Carter and his team found over 5,000 artifacts. Golden chariots, carved furniture, alabaster lamps and chests of jewellery filled the tomb. At the heart lay Tutankhamun, his mummified remains in nested coffins, culminating in the iconic golden mask. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb wasn't just about the dazzling gold and precious objects. It provided an unprecedented glimpse into the burial practices, religious beliefs, and artistry of ancient Egypt. Advances in scientific analysis, such as DNA testing and CT scans, have allowed researchers to learn more about Tutankhamun's health, his family relationships, and the circumstances surrounding his death. The boy king's legacy extends far beyond his brief reign, serving as a timeless reminder of the enduring power of ancient Egypt to captivate and inspire. Tutankhamun's tomb was just one of many royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings. This valley near Thebes served as the final resting place for New Kingdom pharaohs. Giovanni Belzoni discovered Seti I's tomb in 1817, its walls adorned with vibrant paintings. These discoveries have painted a vivid picture of ancient Egyptian beliefs and rituals. The exploration of the Valley of the Kings continues to this day, with archaeologists employing cutting-edge technology to uncover its remaining secrets. Ground-penetrating radar and thermal imaging help locate hidden chambers and passageways. Each new discovery adds another piece to the puzzle, deepening our understanding of the pharaohs who ruled Egypt during its golden age. The dedication and ingenuity of Egyptologists continue to bring its wonders to light, ensuring that the legacy of the pharaohs endures for generations to come. As our understanding of ancient Egypt has grown, so too has the need to protect its fragile legacy. The sands of time, while concealing Egypt's treasures, also pose a threat, as do environmental factors and human activity. To safeguard its heritage, the Egyptian government established the Ministry of State for Antiquities in 2011. This institution oversees all archaeological work in Egypt. The ministry also combats the illicit trade in antiquities, recognizing each looted artifact as an irreplaceable loss. Modern Egyptology is a truly collaborative endeavor. International teams, often working in partnership with Egyptian colleagues, bring a diverse range of expertise to bear on the study of ancient Egypt. The Ministry of State for Antiquities plays a crucial role in fostering these international collaborations, recognizing that the pursuit of knowledge knows no boundaries. This spirit of collaboration is essential for the future of Egyptology, as new technologies and research methodologies continue to emerge. Egyptology, though rooted in the study of the past, is a constantly evolving field. New technologies are revolutionizing the way we explore, analyze and understand ancient Egypt. Ground-penetrating radar allows archaeologists to peer beneath the sands without disturbing the ground, revealing hidden structures and tombs. Satellite imagery helps identify potential archaeological sites from space, guiding researchers to areas of interest. And in the laboratory, DNA analysis and other scientific techniques provide unprecedented insights into the lives, health, and even the appearance of ancient Egyptians. The future of Egyptology lies in broadening our understanding of ancient Egyptian society. This means exploring the lives of ordinary Egyptians. What were their homes like? What did they eat? What were their beliefs and values? By studying daily artifacts, Egyptologists are piecing together a complete picture. This shift reveals a vibrant civilization beyond pyramids and pharaohs. We are learning about farmers, artisans, merchants and priests, discovering the importance of family, community and religion, gaining a deeper appreciation for their ingenuity and resilience. As we delve into Egypt's past, we face a crucial challenge: preserving its fragile heritage for future generations. Climate change, pollution, and mass tourism threaten ancient sites and artifacts. Rising groundwater levels erode the foundations of temples and tombs along the Nile. The number of visitors to sites like the Giza Plateau strains these ancient structures. Protecting Egypt's heritage requires a multifaceted approach involving the government, international organizations, and the global community. This includes conservation efforts, sustainable tourism, and raising awareness. By working together, we can ensure the wonders of ancient Egypt inspire future generations. Our journey through Egyptology spans from ancient sands to modern science. We've seen explorers, scholars and dreamers captivated by ancient Egypt. From restoring the Sphinx to Flinders Petrie's digs, knowledge has been passed down. The Rosetta Stone unlocked the voices of the past. We've stood in awe within Tutankhamun's tomb. Modern technology is revolutionizing our understanding of ancient Egypt. Egyptology is far more than the study of a long-vanished civilization. It's a testament to human curiosity, our desire to understand our place in time. The echoes of ancient Egypt resonate through art, architecture and language, reminding us that the past shapes who we are. The legacy of the pharaohs lives on in our quest to unravel their mysteries. As long as there are questions to be answered, Egyptology will continue to thrive. The sands of Egypt still hold many secrets, and each generation of explorers uncovers them, adding their own chapter to Egyptology's story. Thebes, the heart of ancient Egypt. Nestled on the banks of the Nile, Thebes was more than just a city. It was the beating heart of a civilization, showcasing human ambition, faith and artistry. Join us as we uncover the rich history and significance of this ancient city, exploring its grand temples, its royal tombs, and its pivotal role in shaping the story of ancient Egypt. Thebes, even in its ruined state, whispers of a time when it was the religious epicenter of ancient Egypt, particularly during the powerful New Kingdom. Imagine a city alive with the sound of priestly chants, the air thick with the scent of incense burning in honor of Amun-Ra, the king of the gods. Here, within the colossal Karnak temple complex, the Egyptians paid homage to their deities in ceremonies of unparalleled grandeur. The temple, a sprawling testament to their faith, grew over centuries, each pharaoh adding his own mark to this sacred landscape. Luxor Temple, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, was a place for ordinary Egyptians to connect with the divine. Together, these two temples formed the spiritual heart of Thebes, a place where the earthly and the divine intertwined. The ancient Egyptians believed in a life after death, a belief reflected in the grandeur of their tombs. Just across the Nile, on the west bank, lies the Theban necropolis, a city of the dead as magnificent as the city of the living. Here, in the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens, pharaohs and their consorts were laid to rest, surrounded by treasures they believed would accompany them into the afterlife. The tomb of Tutankhamun, a relatively minor pharaoh, yielded a treasure trove of artifacts that captivated the world's imagination. But perhaps even more impressive are the elaborate tombs of rulers like Seti I and Ramses VI, their walls adorned with vibrant scenes from the Book of the Dead. Dotting the landscape are the mortuary temples, grand structures built not for the dead but for their memory. These temples, along with the royal tombs, stand as silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of Egypt's past. For centuries, Thebes was more than just a religious centre. It was the vibrant heart of a nation, the capital of a mighty empire. Imagine the bustling streets of Thebes during its zenith, a time when it was known as the City of 100 Gates. Thebes' rise to prominence began during the Middle Kingdom, when Mentuhotep II reunited the two lands after a period of division. He moved the capital to Thebes, laying the foundation for its future glory. But it was during the New Kingdom that Thebes truly flourished, reaching the pinnacle of its power and influence. Under the rule of powerful pharaohs like Thutmose III and Amenhotep III, Thebes became a metropolis, a hub of international trade and a centre of art and culture. The city's wealth was evident in its grand temples, its opulent palaces, and the luxurious lifestyle of its elite. Yet, even after losing its political dominance, Thebes remained a city of immense religious and cultural significance, a testament to its glorious past. Few sights on earth can compare to the awe-inspiring grandeur of the Karnak temple complex. Imagine standing before this colossal structure, its towering pylons reaching towards the heavens, a symbol of human devotion and architectural genius. Karnak was not simply a temple. It was a city within a city, a complex of temples, chapels and monuments dedicated to the Theban triad Amun-Ra, Mut and Khonsu. The Hypostyle Hall, with its forest of massive columns, is perhaps the most iconic image of Karnak. The construction of Karnak spanned over 2 millennia, with each successive pharaoh feeling compelled to leave his mark on this sacred complex. From the massive pylons and obelisks to the intricate reliefs and inscriptions that adorn its walls, Karnak stands as a testament to the ambition, ingenuity, and deep religious fervour of the ancient Egyptians. The story of Thebes is not just one of religious devotion and architectural grandeur, it is also a story of conflict and resilience. Thebes found itself at the heart of several pivotal moments in Egyptian history, times when the very existence of the kingdom was threatened. One such period was the Second Intermediate Period, a time of turmoil and division when Egypt fell under the rule of the Hyksos, a foreign power from the Levant. The Hyksos, with their superior weaponry and military tactics, conquered much of Lower Egypt, pushing the native Egyptian rulers south. Thebes, however, refused to submit. Theban rulers, seeing themselves as the true heirs to the pharaonic legacy, waged a long and bloody war against the Hyksos, a conflict that would determine the fate of Egypt. Finally, under the leadership of Ahmose I, the founder of the 18th dynasty, the Egyptians triumphed. Ahmose I, a Theban prince, drove the Hyksos out of Egypt, reuniting the two lands and ushering in a new era of Egyptian power and prosperity. Thebes, at its zenith, was more than just a political and religious capital. It was the cultural heart of ancient Egypt, a city alive with creativity and artistic innovation. Imagine the workshops of Thebes, filled with skilled artisans, sculptors, painters, weavers, their hands bringing life to stone, wood and fabric, transforming them into works of breathtaking beauty. The tombs and temples of the Theban necropolis offer a glimpse into this vibrant artistic tradition. The walls of these structures are adorned with intricate murals and carvings, each one a masterpiece that speaks volumes about the artistic skill and the religious beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Theban artists and craftsmen were renowned throughout the ancient world for their skill. Thebes became a center for the production of luxury goods, from exquisite jewelry and finely crafted furniture to colorful textiles and beautifully painted pottery. Thebes' rise to prominence was fueled, in part, by its strategic location. Situated on the banks of the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, Thebes controlled the agricultural wealth of the surrounding region. Thebes' location also made it a natural hub for trade. Caravans laden with exotic goods from Nubia to the south and Punt to the east converged on Thebes, bringing with them gold, ivory, ebony, incense and other treasures. The wealth generated by this trade enriched the city, filling the coffers of the pharaohs and enabling them to embark on ambitious building projects and military campaigns. The opulence of Thebes was evident in its grand temples and monuments, its luxurious palaces and the lavish lifestyle of its elite. Even the mightiest of empires are not immune to the tides of time. Thebes, for centuries the heart of a civilization, eventually experienced a slow decline, its power and influence waning as new powers rose to prominence in the ancient world. The first blow came in 663 BCE, when the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal sacked Thebes. The Assyrians, a ruthless and efficient military force, had conquered much of the Near East, and Egypt, weakened by internal strife and economic decline, was unable to withstand their onslaught. The sack of Thebes by the Assyrians was a traumatic event for the Egyptians. The city, once considered invincible, was plundered and burned, its temples desecrated, its treasures carried off to Assyria as spoils of war. Thebes never fully recovered from the Assyrian sack. Centuries later, under Roman rule, Thebes was again sacked, this time after a revolt against Roman authority. Thebes may lie in ruins, its grand temples and palaces reduced to rubble, but its story continues to resonate across the millennia. The remains of this once great city, spread across the modern-day city of Luxor, are now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a testament to their enduring historical, architectural and cultural significance. The Karnak and Luxor temple complexes, the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens, and the numerous other tombs, temples and monuments scattered across the Theban necropolis offer an unparalleled glimpse into the world of ancient Egypt. Today, Thebes is one of Egypt's most popular tourist destinations, attracting visitors from all corners of the globe. Thebes was more than just a physical city. It was a powerful symbol woven deeply into the fabric of Egyptian mythology and religious belief. The Egyptians believed that Thebes was the earthly counterpart of the primordial mound that emerged from the waters of chaos at the beginning of creation. It was here, in the heart of Thebes, that the god Amun-Ra, the king of the gods, was said to have first emerged, bringing light and order to the world. Thebes' association with Amun-Ra elevated it to a position of supreme religious significance. The Opet festival, one of the most important events in the Egyptian religious calendar, was celebrated annually in Thebes. Thebes, in the eyes of the ancient Egyptians, was a sacred city, a place where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine were blurred. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the ancient city of Thebes. From its grand temples that scraped the sky to the whispers of pharaohs in the Valley of the Kings, Thebes stands as a testament to human ambition, ingenuity, and the enduring power of belief. Ancient Egypt, a civilization that has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and the general public for centuries. The land of pharaohs and pyramids, a place where the sands of time have preserved the grandeur of a bygone era, a place full of mystery and wonder. The ancient ruins whisper tales of gods and kings, of life and death. But behind the giant monuments and strange hieroglyphs, ancient Egypt had a vibrant musical tradition. Music was an integral part of their daily lives. Music was everywhere in this ancient civilization, from simple homes to grand temples. It was a universal language that transcended social classes. Imagine the sun rising over the Nile River, shining on the fields, the gentle hum of the river, the rustling of the reeds, and the distant sound of a flute. Farmers work in their fields, singing ancient songs. These songs were not just for entertainment. They were a way to pass down stories and traditions. In the busy marketplace, musicians play happy tunes, and their music mixes with the sounds of people buying and selling. The marketplace was a hub of activity, and music added to its vibrancy. Inside the temples, priests performed rituals, singing hymns and playing sacred instruments. These rituals were believed to connect them with the divine. Music wasn't just art in ancient Egypt, it was a big part of their lives. It was woven into the fabric of their society. It showed their happiness and sadness, their beliefs and hopes. Music was a reflection of their emotions and their world-view. It connected them to their gods and celebrated life and death. Music was a bridge between the mortal and the divine. Join us as we travel back in time to explore the music of ancient Egypt. We'll delve into the sounds that echoed through the temples and marketplaces. We'll discover their instruments and learn about their musical traditions. From the simple reed flutes to the elaborate harps, each instrument had its own story. This picture shows us the musical culture of ancient Egypt. The wall paintings are a testament to the importance of music in their society. We see musicians playing harps, their fingers deftly plucking the strings to create melodies that have been lost to time. Flutes, their breath giving life to the music, and drums, the heartbeat of their songs. They look skilled and passionate. Their expressions show a deep connection to their craft. This scene reminds us that music was important to them. It was present in their celebrations, their rituals, and their daily lives. It brought them joy, comfort, and a connection to their gods. Music was the soul of ancient Egypt, a timeless echo of a civilization that continues to captivate us. Music wasn't just for rich people or religious ceremonies in ancient Egypt. Everyone enjoyed music. It was a universal language that transcended social classes and was deeply embedded in the fabric of their daily lives. From the grand palaces of the pharaohs to the humble homes of the common folk, music resonated through the air, bringing joy and solace to all who heard it. It was part of everyday life and all kinds of activities. Whether people were working, relaxing, or celebrating, music was always present. It was as essential to their lives as the Nile River, providing a rhythm to their daily routines and marking the passage of time with its melodies. From working in the fields to celebrating at festivals, music was always there. Farmers would sing as they sowed and harvested their crops, their songs echoing across the fertile lands. These melodies not only made the hard work more bearable, but also synchronized their efforts, making the labor more efficient and harmonious. Think about the hard work of building the pyramids, those huge monuments that we still marvel at today. The construction of these colossal structures required immense physical effort and coordination. Music played a crucial role in this process, helping to maintain the workers' morale and keep them in sync. The work was tough, but the workers sang together. Their voices, rising in unison, created a powerful sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. These songs were not just about passing the time, they were a vital part of the work itself, providing a steady rhythm for the labourers to follow. Their voices, rising and falling, gave them a sense of unity and purpose. The melodies and rhythms helped to coordinate their movements, ensuring that each stone was placed with precision and care. This musical collaboration was a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the ancient Egyptians. These work songs, passed down from parents to children, helped them work together and kept them going. They were a living tradition, a way of preserving the knowledge and skills of previous generations. Through these songs, the wisdom of the past was carried forward, ensuring that each new generation was equipped to face the challenges of their time. In the busy marketplaces where people sold things and met friends, music created a lively atmosphere. The sounds of merchants calling out their wares, the chatter of customers and the melodies of street musicians blended together to create a vibrant and dynamic soundscape. Musicians, both good and not so good, played their instruments, filling the air with music that attracted crowds. These performers were an integral part of the market experience, drawing people in with their tunes and adding to the overall energy and excitement of the place. Drums, flutes and harps all played together, making the marketplace a fun and exciting place. Each instrument added its own unique flavour to the mix, creating a rich tapestry of sound that reflected the diversity and creativity of ancient Egyptian culture. Festivals and celebrations always had music in ancient Egypt. These events were a time for the community to come together, to celebrate their achievements and to honour their gods. Music was at the heart of these gatherings, providing a soundtrack for the festivities and enhancing the sense of joy and togetherness. These happy events, often celebrating the harvest or honouring their gods, were full of music and dancing. The rhythms of the drums and the melodies of the flute set the pace for the dancers, who moved with grace and exuberance. These celebrations were a testament to the vitality and spirit of the ancient Egyptians. Imagine a festival for Hathor, the goddess of love, music and joy. The streets would be filled with people, all dressed in their finest clothes, ready to celebrate and give thanks. The air would be alive with the sounds of music and laughter as people danced and sang in honour of the goddess. The air would be filled with the smell of incense, and the streets would be crowded with people in colourful clothes dancing to the music. The vibrant colours and the joyful sounds created an atmosphere of celebration and reverence, a perfect reflection of the ancient Egyptians' love for life and their deep connection to their gods. Whether it was the singing of workers, the music in the marketplace, or the happy melodies of festivals, music was always with the ancient Egyptians. It was a constant presence, a source of comfort and joy that accompanied them through all the ups and downs of life. It comforted them when times were hard, made their happy times even better, and connected them to the world around them. Music was a bridge between the human and the divine, a way of expressing their deepest emotions and their highest aspirations. This picture from a tomb shows us a party in ancient Egypt. The scene is filled with life and energy, capturing a moment of joy and celebration that has been preserved for thousands of years. We see musicians entertaining guests. Their presence at the party highlights the importance of music in social gatherings, providing entertainment and enhancing the overall experience for everyone involved. The details of their instruments, how they sit, and even their faces show us how important music was to their parties. These images give us a glimpse into the past, revealing the central role that music played in the lives of the ancient Egyptians, from the grandest festivals to the most intimate gatherings. Ancient Egyptians didn't just see music as entertainment, it was woven into the very fabric of their daily lives and spiritual practices. It was very important to their religion, serving as a bridge between the mortal and the divine. They believed music connected them to their gods, creating a sacred soundscape that facilitated communication with the divine. They even believed some gods created music, attributing the origins of melodies and rhythms to divine inspiration. Hathor, the cow goddess, was connected to music, dance and joy. She was often depicted with a sistrum, a musical instrument that symbolized her role as a goddess of music. They believed her music was magical and could make both gods and people happy, bringing joy and harmony to the world. Thebes, the dwarf god, often shown with a mask and a musical instrument, protected homes and was a patron of music and dance. His presence was believed to ward off evil spirits and bring good fortune. These gods show us how important music was to their religion, as it was intertwined with their beliefs and daily practices. Temples were filled with music, especially during religious ceremonies. The sound of instruments and chanting created an atmosphere of reverence and devotion. Priests, who were often skilled musicians, played music to honor the gods, ask for their help, and keep them happy. Their musical performances were seen as offerings, a way to gain favor and ensure the gods' blessings. The sistrum, a kind of rattle, was often played by goddesses. Its distinctive sound was believed to have protective qualities. They believed its shaking sound kept away evil and brought divine protection, creating a sacred space free from negative influences. Playing music was a sacred duty, a way to talk to the gods and keep the world in balance. It was an essential part of their religious rituals and ceremonies. Musicians, especially those in temples, were important people. They were highly respected and their skills were considered divine gifts. Their skills were seen as gifts from the gods, and their music was a way to honor these divine gifts. Their music wasn't just entertainment, it was a way to pray and offer gifts to the heavens. Each note and rhythm was a form of worship, a way to connect with the divine. The importance of music in ancient Egyptian religion reminds us of the power of music. It was a tool for spiritual connection, a means to express faith, and a way to find comfort in the mysteries of life. It can connect us to something bigger than ourselves, transcending the mundane and touching the divine. Their beliefs, though different from ours, show us how music has always been used to express faith, find comfort, and celebrate the mysteries of the universe. The melodies and rhythms of ancient Egypt continue to echo through time, reminding us of the timeless connection between music and spirituality. This beautiful sistrum, with its carvings and sacred pictures, shows us how much they respected their instruments. Each instrument was not just a tool, but a sacred object imbued with spiritual significance. The shaking of this instrument inside a temple would have created a feeling of awe and reverence, connecting people to their gods. The sound resonated through the sacred halls, a reminder of the divine presence in their lives. Karnak Temple is a vast temple complex in Egypt, renowned for its immense size and historical significance. It is located on the east bank of the Nile River, which has been a lifeline for civilizations for millennia. Karnak is near the modern city of Luxor, a bustling urban centre that blends ancient history with contemporary life. This ancient site was once the city of Thebes, the capital of ancient Egypt during its New Kingdom period. The temple complex is a marvel of ancient architecture, showcasing the ingenuity and craftsmanship of the ancient Egyptians. It is a testament to the power and artistry of the pharaohs, who commissioned grand structures to honor their gods and themselves. Karnak was built and expanded over many centuries, with each pharaoh adding their own touch to the sprawling complex. It is a place of pilgrimage and worship for over 2,000 years, drawing people from all over to pay homage to the gods. The complex is a vast open-air museum, offering a unique glimpse into the religious and cultural practices of ancient Egypt. It is a treasure trove of ancient Egyptian art and architecture, with intricate carvings and monumental statues. Visitors can explore the many temples, chapels and monuments, each with its own story and historical significance. Karnak is a window into the past, offering insights into the religious, political and social life of ancient Egypt. It is a reminder of the grandeur and sophistication of ancient Egyptian civilization, a civilization that has left an indelible mark on history. Thebes was one of the most important cities in ancient Egypt, known for its grandeur and historical significance. It was the capital of Egypt for many centuries. serving as the heart of the nation during the Middle and New Kingdoms. Thebes was a centre of political, religious and economic power, influencing the entire region with its wealth and culture. The city was dedicated to the god Amun-Re, who was considered the supreme deity in the Egyptian pantheon. He was the king of the gods, often depicted with a ram's head or as a man wearing a double-plumed crown. Thebes was also home to the goddess Mut, who was revered as the mother goddess and a symbol of motherhood and fertility. She was the consort of Amun-Re, and together they were worshipped as a divine couple. Their son, Khonsu, was the moon god, associated with time and healing. Together they formed the Theban triad, a powerful trio that was central to the religious life of Thebes. They were worshipped at Karnak, one of the largest and most significant temple complexes in ancient Egypt. The temple complex at Karnak was a reflection of Thebes' importance, showcasing its architectural and artistic achievements. It was a place where the pharaohs could honor the gods, performing rituals and ceremonies to gain their favor. The pharaohs built temples and monuments at Karnak, each adding to the splendor of the complex. They wanted to show their devotion to the gods, ensuring their legacy and divine support. The temple complex grew in size and grandeur over time, with each pharaoh contributing to its expansion. It became a symbol of the power and wealth of Egypt, standing as a testament to the civilization's achievements and religious devotion. Construction at Karnak began during the Middle Kingdom. This was around 2055 to 1650 BC. However, it was during the New Kingdom that Karnak truly flourished. This period was from 1550 to 1069 BC. The New Kingdom was a time of great prosperity and power for Egypt. The pharaohs of the New Kingdom were ambitious builders. They wanted to leave their mark on Egypt. They expanded the temple complex at Karnak. They added new temples, chapels, and monuments. Each pharaoh tried to outdo his predecessor. They wanted to create the most impressive structures. The result is a complex that is both awe-inspiring and bewildering in its scale. One of the most prolific builders at Karnak was the female pharaoh Hatshepsut. She ruled Egypt from 1478 to 1458 BC. Hatshepsut was a powerful and ambitious ruler. She commissioned many impressive building projects at Karnak. Hatshepsut's most famous contribution to Karnak is her Red Chapel. This is a small but perfectly proportioned shrine. It's made of red quartzite. The Red Chapel was once adorned with brilliant reliefs. It is a testament to Hatshepsut's artistry and her devotion to the gods. Hatshepsut also erected two massive obelisks at Karnak. These towering monuments were once the tallest structures in the world. They are a symbol of Hatshepsut's power and ambition. The Great Hypostyle Hall is one of the most impressive structures at Karnak. This architectural marvel stands as a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of ancient Egyptian builders. It is a massive hall supported by 134 columns, each one towering over visitors and creating a forest of stone that stretches towards the sky. The hall covers an area of 5,000 square meters, making it one of the largest religious spaces ever constructed in the ancient world. It is big enough to hold 10 cathedrals, a fact that underscores its immense scale and the grandeur of its design. The Hypostyle Hall was built by the Pharaoh Seti I, who initiated its construction as part of his grand vision for the Karnak temple complex. He ruled Egypt from 1290 to 1279 BC, a period marked by significant architectural and cultural achievements. Seti I's son, Ramesses II, completed the hall, continuing his father's legacy and adding his own touches to the monumental structure. The hall is a masterpiece of engineering and artistry, showcasing the advanced techniques and artistic skills of ancient Egyptian craftsmen. The columns are decorated with intricate carvings, depicting scenes of gods, pharaohs, and religious rituals that tell the story of ancient Egypt. The great Hypostyle hall was used for religious ceremonies, serving as a sacred space where priests conducted rituals and offerings to the gods. It was a place where the pharaoh could commune with the gods, reinforcing his divine right to rule and his connection to the divine. The hall is a testament to the power and grandeur of the new kingdom, reflecting the might and religious devotion of the pharaohs who built it. Section 6. The Temple's later years. The New Kingdom came to an end around 1069 BC. Egypt entered a period of decline. The temple complex at Karnak was still used for religious purposes. However, it was no longer expanded or embellished. In later centuries, Karnak was occupied by the Romans. They added their own touches to the complex. They built a temple to the god Jupiter. The Romans also converted some of the existing temples into churches. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Karnak was abandoned. It fell into ruin. The desert sands slowly buried the temple complex. Rediscovering a lost world. For centuries, Karnak lay forgotten. The local people knew of its existence. However, the outside world had no idea of its scale or grandeur. In the 18th century, European explorers began to rediscover the wonders of ancient Egypt. In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte launched his expedition to Egypt. He brought with him a team of scholars and scientists. They were tasked with documenting the ancient monuments of Egypt. The team produced detailed drawings and descriptions of Karnak. These publications helped to spark a wave of interest in ancient Egypt. In the 19th century, archaeologists began to excavate Karnak in earnest. They uncovered the temple complex. Karnak, a World Heritage Site. Today, Karnak is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Egypt. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The complex is visited by millions of people every year. Karnak is an important site for archaeologists and historians. It is a rich source of information about ancient Egyptian culture and religion. Archaeologists are still excavating Karnak. They're making new discoveries all the time. The Karnak temple complex is a timeless wonder. It is a testament to the ingenuity, artistry, and devotion of the ancient Egyptians. Karnak is a place of pilgrimage, worship, and wonder for over 2,000 years. It continues to inspire us today. As the sun sets over Karnak, it casts long shadows over the ancient stones. It is a reminder of the passage of time. Karnak is a place where the past feels very much alive. It is a place where we can connect with the ancient world. The sands of time have long concealed the daily lives of those who lived in ancient Egypt. Yet beneath the scorching desert sun, whispers from the past remain. Tombs, adorned with intricate paintings and carvings, offer us a unique window into their world. These vibrant scenes, preserved for thousands of years, provide a glimpse into the lives of ancient Egyptians, including their children. The Egyptians believed in life after death, a realm mirroring their earthly existence. They meticulously decorated their tombs with scenes from their daily lives, hoping to carry these experiences into the afterlife. These images, frozen in time, offer us invaluable insights into their customs, beliefs, and even the games their children played. Stepping into the painted chambers of ancient Egyptian tombs is like stepping back in time. We are transported to a world teeming with activity where children are not merely passive observers but active participants in the bustle of daily life. The tombs, particularly those from the Old and Middle Kingdoms, are replete with scenes of children engaging in various activities. These images reveal a society that cherished childhood and recognized the importance of play. Children are often depicted alongside adults participating in chores and celebrations. Their presence in these scenes suggests a close-knit family structure where children were integral members of the household and community. The tomb of Mereruka, a high-ranking official from the 6th dynasty, offers a captivating glimpse into the world of ancient Egyptian children. Among the many vibrant scenes adorning its walls, we find depictions of children engaged in playful acrobatics. These agile youngsters twist and contort their bodies into impressive poses, showcasing their flexibility and balance. One scene depicts a group of children forming a human pyramid, their small bodies balanced precariously atop one another. Another shows a young girl gracefully arched backward, her hands touching the ground behind her. These acrobatic displays were not merely forms of amusement. They were likely part of religious festivals and celebrations, adding an element of spectacle and entertainment to these important events. The rock-cut tombs of Beni Hassan, dating back to the Middle Kingdom, provide further evidence of the importance of movement and dance in ancient Egyptian culture. These tombs, carved meticulously into the cliffs, stand as silent witnesses to the vibrant life that once thrived here. The tombs, belonging to provincial governors, feature scenes of children engaged in a whirling dance, their bodies spinning and twirling with joyous abandon. These images capture the essence of youthful exuberance and the communal spirit of the time. Similarly, the tomb of Keti showcases children caught in mid-twirl, their colourful garments swirling around them like vibrant blossoms. The vivid colours and dynamic poses bring these ancient scenes to life, allowing us to glimpse the past. These whirling dances, likely accompanied by music and rhythmic clapping, were not only a form of entertainment but also a way for children to express themselves creatively and connect with their cultural heritage. Through these dances, they celebrated their identity and passed down traditions from one generation to the next, ensuring the continuity of their rich cultural tapestry. The scorching Egyptian sun dictated much of daily life, and clothing was no exception. The intense heat and relentless sun shaped the way ancient Egyptians dressed, influencing their choice of materials and styles. Ancient Egyptian children, much like their adult counterparts, donned light and airy garments suited to the hot climate. These garments were designed to keep them cool and comfortable, allowing them to go about their daily activities without being hindered by the oppressive heat. Linen, a fabric woven from the flax plant, was the material of choice, its breathable nature providing comfort in the sweltering heat. The process of weaving linen was an essential skill, passed down through generations, ensuring that everyone had access to this vital fabric. Young children, particularly boys, were often depicted wearing little to no clothing, their bare skin allowing them to stay cool under the desert sun. This minimalistic approach to clothing was practical and efficient, helping them avoid overheating. Girls, as they grew older, would wear simple linen dresses, often held up by straps over the shoulders. These dresses were not only functional, but also allowed for a degree of modesty as they transitioned into adulthood. These lightweight garments allowed for ease of movement, essential for active children engaged in play and exploration. The freedom of movement provided by their clothing enabled them to fully enjoy their childhood, exploring the world around them without restriction. The ancient Egyptian concept of childhood extended beyond mere survival. It encompassed play and imagination. Archaeological excavations at Kahun, a workers' town associated with the pyramid of Senusret II, have unearthed a treasure trove of children's toys, providing tangible evidence of their playful pursuits. Among the finds are balls made of woven fibres, their simple construction belying hours of fun spent tossing and catching. Wooden sticks, resembling miniature javelins, hint at games of skill and accuracy, while small carved figurines of animals ignite the imagination, transporting children to a world of make-believe. These toys, simple yet enduring, offer a poignant reminder that the desire for play transcends time and culture. Play in ancient Egypt was not limited to physical activity, it also encompassed games of skill and strategy. These games were an integral part of daily life and were enjoyed by both the young and the old. Board games, in particular, were popular pastimes, enjoyed by people of all ages, including children. These games were often played in the evenings or during festivals, bringing families and communities together. Two of the most well-known ancient Egyptian board games are Senet and Mehen. These games have been discovered in various archaeological sites, indicating their widespread popularity. Senet, a game of strategy played on a long, narrow board with 30 squares, involved moving pieces according to the roll of dice. The game required careful planning and foresight to outmaneuver opponents. The game, often found depicted in tomb paintings, was believed to have religious significance, representing the journey of the soul through the afterlife. It was thought that mastering Senet could help one navigate the challenges of the afterlife. Mehen, named after the snake god, was played on a circular board resembling a coiled serpent. The unique design of the board added an extra layer of complexity to the game. Players would move their pieces around the board, attempting to capture their opponent's pieces. The game required strategic thinking and a deep understanding of the rules to succeed. These games not only provided entertainment, but also honed children's cognitive skills and strategic thinking. They were a vital part of education, teaching important life skills through play. The Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, was not only a source of sustenance but also a playground for children seeking respite from the desert heat. Swimming was a popular activity, and tomb scenes often depict children frolicking in the river's cool waters. One scene shows a group of children splashing and playing in the shallows, their laughter echoing through the ages. Another depicts children swimming alongside adults, their bodies sleek and agile in the water. The Nile, despite its inherent dangers, provided a much-needed escape from the scorching sun, offering children a chance to cool off, socialize, and engage in carefree play. The scenes etched into the walls of ancient Egyptian tombs offer us a poignant and enduring glimpse into the lives of children who lived thousands of years ago. These images, imbued with a sense of timelessness, remind us that childhood, with its inherent joys and wonder, transcends time and cultural boundaries. While our knowledge of ancient Egyptian childhood remains fragmentary, these glimpses into their world paint a picture of a society that valued play, creativity, and the importance of family. The toys they cherished, the games they played, and the laughter that undoubtedly filled their days are testaments to the universality of childhood experiences. The Nile, the lifeblood of Africa, flows through a land of ancient wonders. Along this journey, it encounters Nubia, a land as rich and enigmatic as the river itself. Nubia, nestled in modern-day Sudan and southern Egypt, was a land of strategic importance. It was a gateway between the Mediterranean world and the heart of Africa. Nubia's significance was not lost on the ancient Egyptians. They called it Tarseti, the land of the bow, in recognition of the famed Nubian archers. These skilled warriors were highly sought after in Egyptian armies. Gold, ivory, ebony, and exotic animals flowed from the heart of Africa, through Nubia and into Egypt. The Egyptians, recognizing this, sought to control Nubia, leading to centuries of complex interactions. The story of Nubia and Egypt is one of conflict and cooperation, of cultural exchange and intertwined destinies. Nubia was a land of abundance, blessed with resources coveted by its northern neighbor, Egypt. Gold, shimmering and precious, was perhaps the most sought-after treasure. Nubia's gold mines, located deep within its mountainous terrain, became a source of fascination and desire for the Egyptians. Beyond gold, Nubia was a land of exotic wonders. Ebony, a dark, fine-grained wood, was prized for its beauty and durability. Ivory from the tusks of elephants was carved into exquisite ornaments and works of art. Animal skins, precious stones, and aromatic resins all flowed north from Nubia, enriching the Egyptian economy and culture. Trade routes, traversing the Nile and crossing the desert, connected Nubia and Egypt. Caravans laden with goods carried not just material wealth but also ideas and cultural practices. This interaction, driven by economic necessity and fueled by the Nile's bounty, laid the foundation for a relationship that would endure for millennia. The relationship between Nubia and Egypt was not always harmonious. The allure of Nubia's riches, coupled with its strategic importance, often led to conflict. Egyptian pharaohs, eager to secure their borders and control the flow of valuable resources, launched military campaigns into Nubia. Despite the conflicts, periods of peaceful coexistence and cooperation punctuated the tumultuous history. Trade flourished during these times of peace, with both civilizations benefiting from the exchange of goods and ideas. Nubian rulers, eager to secure their own power and legitimacy, sometimes sought alliances with the Egyptian pharaohs. Royal marriages, a common diplomatic tool in the ancient world, cemented these alliances and fostered cultural exchange. Nubian princesses, renowned for their beauty and grace, were welcomed into the Egyptian royal court. Similarly, Egyptian scribes, artisans and officials traveled south to Nubia, spreading Egyptian ideas and technologies. The two civilizations, though often at odds, were bound by the shared waters of the Nile and the intricate tapestry of human interaction. The interactions between Nubia and Egypt extended far beyond the battlefield and the marketplace. Nubians, drawn by opportunity or brought as captives of war, became an integral part of Egyptian society. Their skills as archers, warriors and administrators were highly valued, and many rose to positions of prominence within the Egyptian hierarchy. Nubian archers, renowned for their accuracy and discipline, were a common sight in Egyptian armies. Beyond the military, Nubians excelled in administration and governance. Egyptian records mention Nubian scribes, officials and even governors who managed Egyptian provinces. These individuals, often highly educated and multilingual, navigated the complexities of Egyptian bureaucracy and contributed to the efficient running of the empire. Nubian artisans, musicians, dancers and laborers contributed to the vibrancy of Egyptian culture. Their presence is evident in Egyptian art, where Nubian features, hairstyles and clothing styles are often depicted. The adoption of Nubian cultural elements highlights the dynamic nature of Egyptian society and its ability to absorb and adapt to foreign influences. The rise of Kush, a Nubian kingdom's ascent. Around the 8th century BCE, a powerful kingdom emerged in Nubia, centered at the city of Napata. This kingdom, known as Kush, would challenge Egyptian dominance and eventually rule over the land of the pharaohs. The Kushites, deeply influenced by Egyptian culture, adopted many of its customs and beliefs. They worshipped Egyptian gods, built pyramids and temples in the Egyptian style, and even adopted hieroglyphic writing. However, they also retained their own distinct traditions, language, and artistic styles. Kushite kings, powerful rulers who commanded vast armies, presented themselves as the legitimate heirs of the pharaohs. The rise of Kush marked a turning point in the relationship between Nubia and Egypt. Their armies, led by skilled warriors and equipped with advanced weaponry, pushed northwards, capturing Egyptian cities and defeating Egyptian armies. The Kushite kings, now rulers of both Nubia and Egypt, ushered in an era of renaissance, reviving Egyptian traditions and leaving an indelible mark on Egyptian art, religion, and architecture. The 25th dynasty, established by the Kushite king Paya around 747 BCE, marked a significant moment in Egyptian history. For the first time, a dynasty of Nubian origin ruled over the land of the pharaohs. These black pharaohs left a lasting impact on Egyptian culture, religion, and architecture. They revitalized Egyptian traditions, ushering in a period of artistic and religious renewal. The Kushite pharaohs were devout patrons of the Egyptian god Amun, restoring temples and monuments dedicated to him. They embraced traditional Egyptian artistic conventions, commissioning colossal statues and intricate reliefs. They also introduced elements of their own Kushite heritage, blending Egyptian motifs with Nubian styles. The story of Nubia and Egypt is not simply a tale of two separate civilizations. It is a testament to the power of cultural exchange, the blurring of boundaries, and the creation of a shared heritage. Over centuries of interaction, Nubian and Egyptian cultures intertwined, each influencing and enriching the other. While Nubia adopted Egyptian religious beliefs, artistic styles, and even language, Egypt was equally open to Nubian influences. Nubian music, dance, and fashion found their way into the Egyptian court and society. Nubian gods and goddesses were incorporated into the Egyptian pantheon. The Egyptian language itself borrowed words and phrases from Nubian languages, a testament to the close interaction between the two peoples. This cultural fusion is evident in the archaeological record, in the art, architecture, and artifacts that have survived the sands of time. Temples in Nubia, built by Kushite pharaohs, feature a unique blend of Egyptian and Nubian artistic styles. This intertwining of cultures created a vibrant and dynamic civilization along the Nile Valley. Nubia, though often overshadowed by its more famous neighbour, played a pivotal role in shaping the course of history. Its contributions to world civilization, often overlooked or downplayed, are finally being recognized and celebrated. From its strategic importance as a crossroads of trade to its cultural innovations, Nubia left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Nubia's gold, ebony and ivory enriched the economies of ancient civilizations. Its warriors, renowned for their skills as archers, served in armies across the ancient Near East. Its kings, the Black Pharaohs, ruled over Egypt, leaving a lasting legacy on its art, religion and architecture. Nubia's impact extends beyond its material and political contributions. It was a center of innovation, developing its own unique alphabet, known as Meroitic script, which remains partially undeciphered. Its artisans created stunning works of art, blending Egyptian motifs with their own distinct styles. Nubia's story is a reminder that history is not written solely by the victors. For centuries, the story of Nubia remained hidden beneath the sands of time. Its monuments and cities lay buried, overshadowed by ancient Egypt. Recently, archaeologists and historians have begun to unearth the secrets of this forgotten civilization. New discoveries challenge our understanding of Nubian history and culture. Excavations at Kerma, Napata and Meroe reveal Nubia's social structure and artistic achievements. The decipherment of Meroitic script is unlocking Nubian language and literature. Studying Nubia is about recognizing its contributions to world history and celebrating its unique identity. As we unearth Nubia's treasures, we see history as a dynamic and evolving narrative. Death in ancient Egypt was not an end, but a transition, a pause before embarking on a perpetual journey to the afterlife. This belief fueled the practice of mummification, a complex and sacred ritual designed to preserve the physical body for the soul's eternal existence. The Egyptians believed that the soul, or ka, needed a physical form to inhabit in the afterlife. Mummification, therefore, was not merely about preserving the deceased, but about ensuring their successful transition and journey in the next world. This meticulous process transformed the deceased into an eternal being, ready to face the challenges and rewards of the afterlife. Imagine the hustle and bustle of ancient Egypt. The hot desert sun beats down on the land. The Nile River flows serenely, its banks teeming with life. Amidst this vibrant backdrop, a death has occurred, casting a somber shadow over the community. Yet there is no despair, only a quiet acceptance of the next stage of existence. For the Egyptians, death was simply a transition, a doorway to another realm. And to navigate this passage successfully, one needed the proper preparation, mummification. The Egyptians were deeply spiritual people. Their lives revolved around the cycles of nature and the promise of life after death. Central to this belief was the concept of the ka, the spiritual essence or soul of an individual. This ka played a vital role in the afterlife. It was believed to journey to the underworld, face judgment, and ultimately, if deemed worthy, achieve eternal life. But for the ka to survive, it needed a vessel, a physical form to return to. Hence, the elaborate and highly ritualized process of mummification evolved. This intricate procedure, shrouded in mystery and steeped in symbolism, was not merely about preserving the body from decay. It was about preparing the deceased for an eternal voyage, ensuring that they had everything they needed to navigate the trials and tribulations of the underworld and emerge triumphant in the afterlife. The intricacies of mummification varied greatly depending on social status and wealth. Elaborate procedures reserved for the elite, like pharaohs and high-ranking officials, involved meticulous organ removal and preservation, using expensive resins and perfumes. Commoners, however, received a more simplified version, often involving less intricate organ treatment and simpler wrappings. Interestingly, even animals held a place in the afterlife. Beloved pets and animals deemed sacred, like cats, were often mummified, their treatment reflecting the reverence they held in Egyptian society. Imagine the bustling workshops of the embalmers, the air thick with the scent of exotic spices and resins. Here, amidst glistening tools and linen bandages, the bodies of the deceased were received with utmost care and reverence. Yet, not all were treated equally. Ancient Egyptian society, much like our own, was stratified, with social standing playing a significant role in life and death. The pharaohs, considered divine rulers, received the most elaborate and costly mummification. Their bodies were meticulously prepared, organs carefully removed and placed in special containers called canopic jars, and the body cavities cleansed and filled with precious resins and perfumes. The process could take up to 70 days to complete, a testament to the importance placed on ensuring the pharaoh's successful transition to the afterlife. High-ranking officials and nobles also received elaborate mummifications, though not as opulent as the pharaohs. Their wealth and status afforded them the luxury of skilled embalmers and finer materials. Commoners, on the other hand, received a more simplified version. While their bodies were still treated with respect and care, the process was less intricate, and the materials used were more readily available. Sometimes a single treatment was applied to multiple mummies to reduce costs. The mummification process, a closely guarded secret of the embalmers, was a marvel of ancient science and ritual. It began with the purification of the body. The deceased was washed with water from the sacred Nile River, a symbolic act cleansing the body and spirit for the journey ahead. Next, the internal organs, believed to be susceptible to decay, were removed. This delicate procedure, performed with specialized tools, involved extracting the lungs, liver, stomach, and intestines. Only the heart, the seat of intelligence and emotion, was left intact, for it would be needed in the afterlife during the weighing of the heart ceremony. The removal of the organs marked a critical stage in the mummification process. It was not a haphazard or purely practical procedure, but a deeply symbolic act. The Egyptians believed that the body needed to be as intact as possible for the afterlife, but they also recognized the problem of decomposition. Thus, they developed a system where the organs, most prone to decay, were removed and preserved separately, ensuring that a vital part of the individual remained intact for their journey to the afterlife. Once removed, the organs were thoroughly cleansed and treated with natron, a naturally occurring salt mixture found in the desert which acted as a desiccant, drawing out moisture and preventing decay. This process was crucial, as it ensured the long-term preservation of the organs. After drying, the organs were wrapped in linen and placed in special containers known as canopic jars, which were then placed within the tomb alongside the mummy. Section 4. Safeguarding the Essence. Canopic Jars and the Four Sons of Horus. The canopic jars were more than just containers. They were intricate works of art imbued with religious significance. Each jar was adorned with the head of a deity, each representing one of the four sons of Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship. These sons, Imseti, Hapi, Duamutef, and Kebesenuef, were tasked with protecting specific organs. Imseti, with a human head, guarded the liver. Hapi, with the head of a baboon, protected the lungs. Duamutef, characterized by the head of a jackal, watched over the stomach, and Kebesenuef, with the head of a falcon, safeguarded the intestines. The placement of the organs within these specific jars, each protected by a son of Horus, highlights the Egyptians' belief in the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms. Every step of the mummification process was imbued with symbolism, each action carefully orchestrated to ensure the deceased's well-being in the afterlife. The sons of Horus, through their protective roles, served as intermediaries between the world of the living and the dead, guiding and safeguarding the deceased's organs on their journey to eternity. These beautifully crafted jars, often made of alabaster or limestone, were more than just containers. They were seen as miniature sarcophagi, protecting vital parts of the deceased for eternity. Their presence within the tomb underscored the belief that the body in its entirety played a crucial role in the afterlife. The care and artistry lavished upon these jars are a testament to the Egyptians' deep respect for the dead and their commitment to ensuring a smooth transition to the afterlife. The power of natron, drying for eternity. With the organs removed and placed in their respective canopic jars, the next stage of the mummification process focused on dehydrating the body. This was crucial to prevent decomposition. The Egyptians used natron, a naturally occurring salt mixture found in abundance in the desert, for this purpose. The body, covered in natron packs, was laid on a slanted table, allowing fluids to drain away. Natron, a desiccant, played a vital role in mummification. It acted like a sponge, drawing out all the moisture from the body, effectively halting the process of decomposition. This natural salt, readily available in the Egyptian desert, became synonymous with preservation, its use extending beyond mummification to preserving food and other perishable goods. For about 40 days, the body remained immersed in this natron bath, slowly drying and becoming resistant to decay. The embalmers, skilled in their craft, regularly checked the progress, ensuring the body was dehydrating properly. This period of drying was crucial as it transformed the body from a perishable vessel into a lasting symbol of eternal life. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating historical explorations. The Nile, lifeblood of ancient Egypt, its waters a source of sustenance, its rhythm a heartbeat echoing through the ages. For the ancient Egyptians, life was a tapestry woven with music and motion, dance an inseparable part of their world. From grand ceremonies to intimate gatherings, dance punctuated their existence. A celebration of life, a bridge to the divine. Imagine the sun-drenched land thousands of years ago. Hear the echoes of drums and flutes carried on the desert breeze. Picture the vibrant colours, the swirling fabrics, the rhythmic movements of dancers. This was ancient Egypt, a civilization that embraced dance in all its forms. Dance was not merely entertainment, it was a language, a way to communicate with the gods, to honour their pharaohs, to express joy and sorrow. It was woven into the very fabric of their society, a testament to their deep connection with the rhythms of life and the cosmos. The walls of ancient Egyptian tombs and temples whisper stories. Stories told not just in hieroglyphs and carvings, but in vibrant images of dancers. These paintings, frozen moments in time, offer a glimpse into the past. They capture the grace, the athleticism and the sheer joy of dance in ancient Egypt. Look closely at the murals. Notice the elegant postures of the dancers, their limbs contorted in seemingly impossible positions. See the energy radiating from their bodies, the smiles on their faces. These images are not mere decorations, they are snapshots of a culture that lived and breathed dance. The tombs of the nobles are particularly revealing. Here, scenes of daily life unfold, including depictions of dancers entertaining at banquets. These images show us that dance was not just for rituals and ceremonies, it was also a part of everyday life, a source of pleasure and amusement. The evidence is clear. Dance was ubiquitous in ancient Egypt, permeating every level of society. From the pharaoh to the peasant, everyone danced. In the ancient Egyptian worldview, dance held cosmic significance. It was believed to have played a role in the creation of the universe. The god Osiris, often depicted as a mummified king, was also a god of vegetation and rebirth. His annual festival included dances that celebrated the cycle of life, death and resurrection. Pharaohs used dance to assert their authority and connect with the divine. They performed rituals and dances to reinforce their status as intermediaries. These performances were grand spectacles designed to inspire awe. The said festival was a jubilee celebration performed by pharaohs after 30 years of rule. It included rituals and dances to rejuvenate the pharaoh's strength. Dance was a powerful tool to connect with the divine and ensure cosmic order. Who were these dancers who moved with such grace and precision? They came from all walks of life. Some were priests and priestesses trained from childhood to perform sacred rituals. Others were professional entertainers hired to perform at banquets and festivals. Among the most skilled and revered dancers were the women of the House of Music. These women, often attached to temples, dedicated their lives to music and dance. They were highly trained musicians, singers and dancers, and their performances were considered to be offerings to the gods. There were also specialized dancers, such as the Mu dancers, who performed acrobatic dances, and the dwarf dancers, who were often employed by the wealthy for their entertainment value. Regardless of their status, all dancers played an important role in Egyptian society, using their bodies and movements to connect with the divine, to entertain, and to tell stories. The ancient Egyptians were masters of adornment, and dance costumes were no exception. From the simplest linen kilts to elaborate headdresses and jewellery, dancers adorned themselves in ways that enhanced their movements and added to the visual spectacle. Female dancers often wore long, flowing dresses made of sheer linen. These dresses, sometimes pleated or draped, allowed for freedom of movement while still revealing the contours of the body. They might also wear beaded nets or vests over their dresses, adding another layer of texture and sparkle. Headdresses were an important part of the costume, often signifying the dancer's role or status. Some dancers wore simple wreaths of flowers, while others donned elaborate headdresses made of feathers, beads, and precious metals. These headdresses, some reaching several feet in height, would have swayed and shimmered with the dancer's every move. Dancers also wore jewellery, both real and costume. Necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and anklets all added to the visual impact of the performance. The jingle of these ornaments provided a rhythmic accompaniment to the music and enhanced the dancer's movements. No discussion of ancient Egyptian dance would be complete without mentioning the music. Music and dance were inseparable, each enhancing and complementing the other. The ancient Egyptians had a rich musical tradition, and their instruments were as varied as their dances. Percussion instruments played a central role, providing the driving rhythms that fueled the dances. Drums of various sizes and shapes were essential. Some were played with the hands, others with sticks. Clappers, cymbals, and sistrums, a type of rattle, added to the percussive texture. Wind instruments such as flutes, oboes, and clarinets provided melodies and harmonies. The flute, in particular, was a popular instrument, its haunting sound evocative of both joy and sorrow. String instruments such as harps, lyres, and lutes added depth and richness to the music. Imagine the sound of these instruments combined with the rhythmic clapping and chanting of the audience. The music would have been both exhilarating and hypnotic, transporting the dancers and viewers alike to another realm. Dance in ancient Egypt was not limited to religious rituals and funerary rites. It was also an integral part of celebrations, festivals, and everyday life. Dances were performed to celebrate births, marriages, harvests, and victories in battle. One of the most important festivals was the annual flooding of the Nile. This event, upon which all life in Egypt depended, was celebrated with great joy and abandon. Dances were performed to honor Hapi, the god of the Nile, and to ensure a bountiful harvest. Fertility dances, often performed by women, were another important genre. These dances, meant to ensure the continuation of life and the prosperity of the land, were characterized by their sensuality and earthiness. They often involved gestures and movements that mimicked the act of procreation. These celebratory dances, filled with joy, energy, and a zest for life, remind us that the ancient Egyptians, while deeply spiritual, also knew how to have fun. Death for the ancient Egyptians was not an end but a transition. It was a journey to the afterlife, a realm where the deceased would live on in spirit form. Dance played a crucial role in these funerary rituals, helping to guide the deceased on their journey and to ensure their safe passage to the underworld. Mourners often performed dances expressing grief and lamenting the loss of their loved ones. These dances, slow and mournful, were often accompanied by the wailing of mourners and the playing of flutes. Other dances, performed by priests and priestesses, were intended to appease the gods and to ensure the deceased's safe passage to the afterlife. These dances were often highly ritualized, involving specific steps, gestures, and incantations. One of the most important funerary rituals was the opening of the mouth ceremony. This ritual, intended to restore the deceased's senses and allow them to eat, drink, and speak in the afterlife, involved a series of symbolic gestures, including the use of a ritual adze to touch the mouth of the deceased's mummy or statue. The sands of time have buried much of ancient Egyptian civilization, yet the echoes of their dances still resonate. We find them in the graceful movements of belly dance, a dance form with roots in ancient Egyptian rituals and traditions. The undulating torso, the fluid arm movements, the emphasis on feminine grace and sensuality. These elements of belly dance can be traced back to the dances depicted in ancient Egyptian art. While the exact steps and movements have evolved over the centuries, the essence of ancient Egyptian dance lives on. The influence of ancient Egyptian dance can also be seen in other art forms, from the stylized movements of Egyptian folk dances to the choreography of modern ballets and operas inspired by ancient Egyptian themes. Dance in ancient Egypt was more than just entertainment. It was a way of life, a language, a bridge to the divine. Through dance, the ancient Egyptians expressed their deepest beliefs and connected with the rhythms of the cosmos. The legacy of ancient Egyptian dance lives on in the images carved on tombs and temples. As we gaze upon the pyramids and temples, let us remember the dances that once animated these spaces. Let us marvel at the enduring power of dance to connect us to the past. Imagine an endless sandy expanse, suddenly interrupted by a stream of vitality teeming with life. This is the Nile, the vital essence of ancient Egypt. In the northeastern corner of Africa, a civilization ascended from the sands, taming the harsh environment and etching its story into history. This was ancient Egypt, a civilization that spanned over 3,000 years, from around 3100 BC to the descent of the last pharaoh, Cleopatra, in 30 BC. At its heart flowed a river like no other. The Nile, the longest river in the world, stretched over 4,000 miles, its waters flowing northward from the highlands of East Africa, through the Sahara to the Mediterranean Sea. But what set the Nile apart was not its length, but its role in shaping a civilization. For the ancient Egyptians, the Nile was more than a river. It was a lifeline, it was a god. It was the pulse of a civilization that would leave an indelible mark on the world. In a land dominated by arid desert, the Nile was a lifeline, a verdant strip of land on either side of the river. The Nile Valley was a haven of fertility. Here, the ancient Egyptians grew their crops, built their cities, and buried their dead. The contrast was stark, a stream of vitality surrounded by a sea of sand, life flourishing amidst sterility. The Nile was not just a provider, but also a pathfinder. It was the highway that connected Upper Egypt in the south, with its rocky cliffs and ancient tombs, to Lower Egypt in the north, with its fertile delta and bustling cities. It was the artery that pumped life into the heart of ancient Egypt, a constant, reliable presence that dictated the rhythms of daily life and the cycles of the seasons. Thus begins the tale of the Nile, a tale intertwined with the ascend and descend of one of the world's most intriguing civilizations. What was it about the Nile that made it so pivotal to ancient Egypt? It was, in the words of the Greek historian Herodotus, the gift of the Nile. Let's delve into the heart of this gift, the annual flooding of the Nile, a natural phenomenon that was as reliable as the sunrise. This predictable inundation was nothing short of a miracle for the ancient Egyptians. The floodwaters, carrying rich, fertile silt from the heart of Africa, spread across the plains, replenishing the soil and transforming the arid landscape into a verdant paradise. With this rich black silt, the Egyptians found the perfect canvas for agriculture. They cultivated wheat, flax and papyrus, harnessing the bounty of the Nile to sustain and grow their population. It was this life-giving soil that allowed them to develop surplus, a key factor in the rise of complex societies. Imagine, if you will, the scene of ancient farmers hunched over in the fields under the scorching sun, their sweat mixing with the fertile mud of the Nile. They are not merely tilling the soil, they are shaping the very foundations of one of the world's earliest and greatest civilizations. The Nile's predictability allowed the Egyptians not just to survive, but to thrive. They developed a calendar based on the river's cycles, and by predicting the floods, they could plan their planting and harvesting around it. This understanding of the river's rhythms led to advancements in technology and the establishment of a stable economy. But the Nile was not merely a source of physical sustenance. It was, in every sense, a life force, a deity to be revered and worshipped. It was the heart of their spiritual beliefs, the wellspring of their mythology, and the inspiration for their awe-inspiring architecture and art. The Nile, then, was not just a river, but the very foundation upon which the grand edifice of ancient Egypt was built. The river's gift was not just water, but civilization itself, a testament to the power and the potential that lay in the harnessing of nature's bounty. Beyond its agricultural bounty, the Nile served as the superhighway of ancient Egypt. This mighty river was not just a source of life, but also a path that carved its way through the desert, the heartline of a civilization. The Nile, flowing from the south to the north, was a natural transportation route. It was the lifeblood of Egypt, a highway that moved people, goods and ideas. Imagine, if you will, the hundreds of boats that would have dotted its expanse, carrying everything from grain and gold to stone and stories. Trade was the lifeblood of any ancient society, and Egypt was no different. The Nile played a pivotal role in this, providing a route for the exchange of goods. Boats laden with wheat from the fertile fields of the delta would make their way to the markets of Upper Egypt, while those from the south would carry gold and precious stones. The river was a bustling marketplace, a conduit for economic prosperity. But it wasn't just trade that the Nile facilitated. Communication, too, was carried along its waters. Messages from the Pharaoh would be dispatched up and down the river, ensuring the kingdom's orders were heard far and wide. It connected cities, towns, and people, knitting together the fabric of the ancient civilization. Moreover, the Nile was also a strategic military route. Expeditions would set sail from its banks, venturing into unknown territories, defending the kingdom's borders, or sometimes expanding them. The Nile was a witness to countless tales of valor and victory, of ancient Egypt's might and majesty. The river's significance was such that it fostered the development of remarkable navigation skills and the construction of advanced boats. From simple reed rafts to grand royal barges, the evolution of Egyptian naval technology is a testament to the Nile's importance. In the vast desert of Egypt, the Nile was the bustling highway, the conduit that connected a civilization. It was more than just a river. It was the artery of life, the road of a nation, the highway of a people's history. The Nile was not just a physical entity to the ancient Egyptians, it was a spiritual river, an integral part of their religious beliefs. This mighty river wasn't simply seen as a water source, but rather a divine entity, a god that breathed life into the land and its people. The Nile was personified as the god Hapi, the lord of the fishes and birds of the marshes, symbolizing fertility and life. Hapi was revered and worshipped. His blessings sought to ensure the river's annual flooding, bringing with it the rich, fertile soil that sustained the kingdom. The river's cyclical flooding echoed the cycle of life and death, a rhythm deeply ingrained in the spirituality of ancient Egypt. This natural phenomenon became a divine event in their eyes, a testament to their god's grace and benevolence. The river was the stage for numerous myths and rituals, its banks hosting ceremonies that paid homage to its sacred attributes. One such tale was the myth of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, the underworld, and rebirth. His body, torn into pieces by his brother Seth, was said to have been scattered across the Nile, making the river a symbol of rebirth and eternal life. This tale was central to the ancient Egyptians' belief in the afterlife, further elevating the Nile's spiritual significance. The river was also a sacred pathway, a celestial river that mirrored the Milky Way, guiding the pharaohs to the afterlife. The importance of this belief was reflected in the construction of the royal tombs and pyramids, aligning them with the river, the celestial bodies, and the cardinal points, a testament to the Nile's role as a spiritual guide. The Nile was more than a river. It was a deity, a provider, a life-giver, a spiritual guide, and a pathway to the afterlife. It was the heartbeat of the civilization, pulsating with the rhythms of daily life and the cycles of the seasons. To the ancient Egyptians, the Nile was a divine gift, a river of life and death, a deity to be revered and appeased. The Nile, with its gifts of fertility, transportation, and spiritual significance, left a lasting legacy on ancient Egypt. The Nile River's influence on ancient Egypt was far-reaching, coloring every aspect of life and shaping a civilization that stands as a marvel of human history. Its life-giving waters were the canvas upon which the Egyptians painted their culture, their art, their science, and their architecture. In art, the Nile was a muse, its winding path, teeming wildlife, and fertile banks inspiring countless works of art. It was the backdrop of many tales, with its gods and goddesses playing pivotal roles in Egyptian mythology. The river's annual flooding, a symbol of rebirth, was immortalized in many artistic forms, from sculpture to hieroglyphics. The Nile's importance was also evident in architecture. The river's mud was used to create the bricks for buildings, while its stones were quarried for monuments and temples. The alignment of these structures often followed the river's path, showing how the Nile guided the Egyptians not just in their daily lives, but also in their monumental endeavors. In the realm of science, the Nile was a natural laboratory. The river's predictable cycles led to the development of one of the world's first calendars. Its fauna and flora were subjects of study, leading to advancements in botany and zoology. The need to manage its waters resulted in groundbreaking engineering feats, such as the construction of dams and canals. Culturally, the Nile shaped the Egyptians' worldview. It shaped their social structures, with those living along its banks forming the backbone of Egyptian society. It influenced their religious beliefs, with the river itself being revered as a deity. Today, the Nile continues to hold a central place in Egyptian life, its waters still nurturing the land and its people. The river's legacy lives on, not just in the monuments and artifacts that dot its banks, but also in the hearts and minds of the Egyptians who continue to draw inspiration from its timeless allure. From the dawn of civilization to the present day, the Nile remains the lifeblood of Egypt, a testament to its timeless allure and enduring legacy.
In the heart of the ancient world, along the banks of the majestic Nile River, a flourishing civilization emerged. A civilization whose lifeblood flowed not just from the Nile's waters, but from the bountiful flora that adorned its banks. Join us as we embark on a journey through time to explore the rich tapestry of plants that sustained and enriched ancient Egypt. The climate and unique geography of the Nile Delta offered a wide variety of plant species. Many of these plants served as sustenance for the ancient Egyptians and as valuable crops for trade. The Nile's consistent seasons allowed Egypt to sustain itself for centuries. As we delve deeper into the world of ancient Egypt's flora, we uncover not only the botanical richness, but also the cultural significance that these plants held. Join us on this captivating journey as we explore the flora of ancient Egypt, a testament to the ingenuity, spirituality, and enduring legacy of this remarkable civilization. One of the key factors that enabled the growth of this advanced society was the favorable climate of the Nile Delta. The Nile River, with its annual flooding, brought nutrient-rich silt that rejuvenated the soil, creating the ideal conditions for agriculture. The predictable flood cycle of the Nile allowed farmers to cultivate a wide variety of crops, ranging from grains like wheat and barley to vegetables like onions and garlic. The fertility of the Nile Delta was legendary, and it was often described as the gift of the Nile. In addition to crops, the Nile's waterways provided a natural irrigation system, allowing farmers to efficiently manage their fields. But the importance of the Nile extended beyond just agriculture. It was the lifeblood of the entire civilization, a source of drinking water, transportation, and sustenance for countless species of plants and animals. The Nile's consistent seasons allowed Egypt to sustain itself for centuries, and its banks teemed with a rich variety of flora. Yet, possibly the most iconic and versatile plant of ancient Egypt was the papyrus. Papyrus, scientifically known as Cyperus papyrus, was a tall sedge plant that grew in abundance along the water's edge of the Nile. Its slender stalks, topped with tufts of feathery leaves, reached skyward, creating lush green corridors along the riverbanks. The ancient Egyptians cherished papyrus for its many uses, some of which may surprise you. While it is widely recognized as a writing material, serving as the precursor to paper, the ancient Egyptians found numerous other functions for this remarkable plant. Papyrus was not just a medium for recording history, it was used to create sturdy ropes, durable sandals, and comfortable mats. The versatility of papyrus extended even further. Papyriform boats, crafted from the stems of the papyrus plant, were a common sight on the Nile. These boats served not only as practical vessels for transportation and fishing, but also as symbols of spiritual significance. They were often featured in paintings and reliefs and played a central role in ritualistic ceremonies. The papyrus plant, with its multifaceted utility, was a testament to the resourcefulness of the ancient Egyptians. But papyrus was just one element in the botanical mosaic that adorned the Nile Delta. The ancient Egyptians lived in harmony with nature, and the plants that surrounded them were not only sources of sustenance but also integral to their culture and spirituality. One of the most important trees in ancient Egypt was the date palm, Phoenix dactylifera. Its sweet and nutritious fruits, known as dates, were a staple food in the Egyptian diet. The date palm not only provided sustenance but also offered valuable resources. Its leaves were woven into baskets, mats, and even roofs for homes. The ancient Egyptians also used various parts of the date palm for medicinal purposes, demonstrating their deep knowledge of plant-based remedies. Alongside the date palm, the carob tree, Ceratonia siliqua, and the tamarisk tree, Tamarix spp, were commonly found along the banks of the Nile. The carob tree, with its long, pod-like fruits, provided a nutritious food source. Carob pods were not only consumed as a sweet treat, but were also used as a unit of measurement for precious commodities like gold, earning them the nickname Egyptian gold. Tamarisk trees, on the other hand, were known for their salt-tolerant nature. They played a vital role in preventing soil erosion and improving the overall ecological stability of the Nile Delta. In addition to their ecological importance, tamarisk trees provided wood for construction and fuel. As we explore further, we encounter the rich variety of fruits that adorned Egyptian orchards. The earliest fruit tree cultivated in ancient Egypt was the fig tree, Ficus carica. Its sweet, pear-shaped fruits were not only delicious, but also symbolized fertility and abundance. The cultivation of figs dates back to the early dynastic period, showcasing the long-standing connection between the Egyptians and their fruit trees. Over time, other fruit trees found their place in Egyptian orchards. The apple, Malus domestica, was introduced, offering a crisp and refreshing alternative to the fig. The pomegranate, Punica granatum, with its jewel-like seeds, added a burst of color and flavor to the Egyptian diet. These fruits became not only culinary staples but also symbols of vitality and prosperity. And during the era of the New Kingdom, the olive tree, Alia europea, was introduced to Egypt. The cultivation of olive trees marked a significant culinary and economic development. Olive oil, extracted from the fruit, became a valuable commodity, used not only for cooking but also for lighting lamps and as an essential ingredient in cosmetics. As the ancient Egyptians diversified their orchards, they embraced the flavors and benefits of these fruits. Yet, the botanical story of ancient Egypt is not limited to its orchards and cultivated plants. The lush vegetation along the banks of the Nile was a testament to the adaptability and resilience of the plant kingdom in the face of the river's annual inundation. But the flora of ancient Egypt was more than just a source of sustenance and construction materials. It was deeply intertwined with spirituality and mythology. The acacia tree, Acacia spp, held a special place in Egyptian culture and religion. It was associated with Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship and the sky. The acacia's resilience in harsh desert conditions symbolized the divine protection and strength of Horus, the patron god of Egypt. The divinities Thoth and Seshat, often portrayed as scribes, were depicted inscribing the reign of the king into the trunk of a pasea tree, Pasea americana. This ritualistic act signified the recording and preservation of the king's legacy for eternity. The sycamore tree, Ficus sycamoris, was another species deeply connected to Egyptian spirituality. Known for its distinctive, broad leaves and wide canopy, the sycamore tree was associated with the goddess Iset, also known as Isis, the patron of the ritual of life. The sycamore's shade and life-giving properties were symbolic of the goddess's nurturing and protective nature. These spiritual connections between the people of ancient Egypt and the plant world reflected their profound reverence for the natural environment. As we reflect on the flora of ancient Egypt, we recognize that it was not only a source of sustenance and cultural significance, but also a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of this remarkable civilization. Join us on this immersive journey as we continue to unravel the flora of ancient Egypt, revealing the threads of history, culture, and spirituality that wove together to create one of the most enduring and influential civilizations in history. To truly appreciate the significance of these plants, we must delve into the daily lives of the ancient Egyptians and understand how they harnessed the power of nature to thrive in the arid landscape of the Nile Delta. Agriculture was the cornerstone of Egyptian society, and the annual flooding of the Nile was a highly anticipated event. As the river swelled with water and nutrients, it spilled over its banks, creating fertile silt deposits that transformed the surrounding land into a verdant oasis. The rich alluvial soil was perfect for cultivation, and the ancient Egyptians wasted no time in planting their crops. Wheat and barley were among the primary grains grown, serving as the staples of the Egyptian diet. These grains were not only consumed as bread and porridge, but were also used in brewing beer, a dietary staple that was central to social and religious gatherings. Onions and garlic, known for their flavor and medicinal properties, were cultivated alongside grains. The predictable flood cycle of the Nile allowed farmers to plan their planting and harvesting with precision. This mastery of the river's rhythms contributed to the stability and prosperity of Egyptian society. In addition to its role in agriculture, the Nile River served as a natural irrigation system. Canals were dug to divert water to the fields, ensuring that even areas farther from the riverbanks could be cultivated. The Egyptians were pioneers in the field of irrigation, employing innovative methods such as the shadaf, a counterweighted lever, to lift water from the river. The efficient management of water resources allowed the civilization to flourish in an otherwise arid environment. But the Nile River was not just a source of sustenance, it was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, supporting not only agriculture but also transportation and trade. The ancient Egyptians were skilled boat builders, and the Nile provided the perfect highways for their vessels. Boats of various sizes and designs crisscrossed the river, carrying goods, people, and ideas. Trade flourished along the Nile, connecting the different regions of Egypt and facilitating the exchange of commodities like grains, textiles, and pottery. This robust trade network allowed Egypt to access valuable resources from other regions of the ancient world, further enriching their culture and economy. The Nile River was not only a conduit for physical goods, but also for cultural exchange and the dissemination of knowledge. Scholars and scribes traveled along the river, sharing information and recording the history, religion, and scientific achievements of the civilization. It was this dynamic interplay of people and resources along the Nile that allowed Egypt to thrive for millennia. As we conclude our exploration of the flora of ancient Egypt, we are reminded that the civilization's greatness was not solely a product of monumental architecture or military conquests. It was also a testament to the profound connection that the ancient Egyptians had with the natural world. The Nile Delta, with its predictable floods and fertile soil, offered the perfect canvas for a civilization to flourish. And the plants that thrived along its banks, from the majestic papyrus to the humble date palm, were not just sources of sustenance but also threads in the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture and spirituality. Each plant carried a unique significance, whether through its practical uses or its role in religious rituals. The ancient Egyptians understood that their existence was intimately intertwined with the natural world around them. In their daily lives, they celebrated the bounty of the land, the life-giving waters of the Nile, and the sacred connection between the plant kingdom and the divine. It is through this lens that we can truly appreciate the flora of ancient Egypt, a vital and vibrant aspect of a civilization that continues to captivate and inspire us to this day. As we bid farewell to the captivating world of ancient Egypt, let us carry with us the profound lessons of harmony with nature and reverence for the gifts it bestows. The Nile Delta may have been the cradle of an ancient civilization, but it also serves as a timeless reminder of the enduring relationship between humanity and the natural world. The flora of ancient Egypt, a story of sustenance, spirituality, and a civilization that bloomed like the lotus in the Nile, will forever be etched in the annals of history.